Hey guys, this is part 2 of my DIY scissor lift. I kind of built this. As you know from part 1, I bought this bottom part, the top part was a table. Anyway, you can go and watch part 1 if you want. I'll try and link it somewhere here up in the corner. Anyway, this is a continuation. These are some jack saddles, is what I call them, that I bought. Just the top parts, the rubber part, the bottom part, the tube and the bottom part, I built myself. But yeah, those were on sale at Princess Auto for I think I got them for 10 bucks each, something like that. So, just did a search on Google one day and it just so happened they were on sale. So, I ran down to Princess Auto and I bought 2. They had 2 in stock, and I had to order the other 2. But yeah, I've used them a few times and they do work really well. Very happy with that purchase. But yeah, anyway, and this is a little cart I built. The wheels in the center weren't on this hoist. There is supposed to be wheels there, or was supposed to be wheels there when I bought it, but they didn't come with the wheels. So while I was down at Princess Auto, I picked up a couple of wheels and I just built a little frame for them and mounted them in the center there. And they basically balance this thing weight-wise pretty well. The little cart that I built just hooks into the end of it. I just welded a little tab on the end, drilled a hole in it. And I had those wheels sitting in my bench, under my bench, and I just made it up, welded it together, and I'm just moving this around with one hand while filming. So it's very easy to move around. I was going to leave it in the center of the floor. My plan originally was going to be to cut out the center of my floor and flush mount this into my garage floor, but I decided not to because I thought, well, sometimes I want to just pull a tractor in here and I want to move this thing out of the way, and I might have to do something with the tractor. So decided to do it this way. Just make it so I can move it out of the way when I don't need it, and when I need it, I just pull it over and use it. So this is the first time now that I am going to try to lift up my truck. Never tried this before. Not sure if it'll work. I just thought, you know what? Just got to give it a try and see if it works. Now, I did only have 2 lawnmower batteries that I was using at the time to lift this up. And you'll see what happens here in a few minutes. So what I'm doing here is I have to move the lift over a little bit, so I'm just putting locking pins in for those wheels to stay down so I can roll it around, but I have to move it over a little bit, and I think I moved it ahead a little bit too. No, actually I moved it back a little bit. Yeah, that's what it was. It was too far ahead. So like I said, this is my first time attempting to lift anything with this hoist or the scissor lift. So I'm still getting used to it. This was the first time, and I wasn't really sure where to put the lift in relation to the truck. I had an idea where it had to go, and anyway, that's where I put it, and yeah, it seemed to work out okay. But anyway, I got it in the right spot there now. And you'll see here I'm gonna start setting the lifting arms and the jack saddles, getting them positioned in underneath. So yeah, here I am here now. I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best spot to put these. Like I said, this is my first attempt at lifting anything. So I'm just kind of like, okay, is this the right spot, or is this the right spot? So anyway, there's multiple spots you can lift from, but anyway, I did get it figured out eventually. Okay, so what I just did here is I jacked up the front of the vehicle because I couldn't get the jack saddles in the right spot. I need a little more clearance. So definitely I need ramps for this setup, because this thing sits about 6 inches off the floor, roughly. So I really need to come up with a set of ramps that I can drive the vehicles up on, because if I had this truck was sitting 6 inches higher, it would be much easier to get these in underneath. And like I say, this was my first time, so I'm really trying to like, okay, what's the best way to lift this thing? So then I end up putting the extension in here at the back, which does work very well. It worked out really well, actually. But again, my first time lifting, so I'm a little bit like, is that going to work? So I thought, well, we'll give it a try and see what happens. Yeah, I keep kind of moving this thing around. I'm like, which way is the best way to put this? So anyway, I do get it figured out. But again, without the ramps, like, it's a lot harder to set those jack saddles where I need them, because the truck is sitting lower than it should be. Or, if it was 6 inches higher, it'd be a lot easier to get those in where I wanted them to. But anyway, bottom line is I need some ramps. I had to come up with some ramps. So anyway, I'm starting to kind of get it figured out now, where stuff should go, somewhat figured out. And yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen here very, very soon. So here we go. I'm getting ready to lift this up, and here it goes, and that's about it. I think I lifted it maybe 3-4 inches off the ground totally, and I'm checking out my voltage here and stuff and looking at the batteries, and I'm thinking, why is this thing not lifting? And it's most definitely, it was because of the batteries I was using. They're just little lawn tractor batteries, and they just weren't powerful enough to lift a 4,500 pound truck. So yeah, extreme fail, big time. So anyway, yeah, I was disappointed to say the least, but I somewhat expected this was going to happen, because this is an electric over hydraulic pump. It's a 24 volt motor on it, DC motor, and I did put my meter on it. I have an amp meter that reads both AC and DC amps, and it's a clamp on meter, and I put my amp meter on it just to see how many amps it was drawing when it went to lift the truck. And it went to over 200 amps. It was drawn. Now I suspect it probably would use a little more than that, because it went to 200, and that's all the batteries had in them, basically. So I'm expecting that this thing probably, and I could put my meter on it and test it now, but I'm expecting that this thing would probably draw 300 to 400 amps of power, of battery power, when it's lifting. So yeah, I suspected in the back of my mind that these batteries just weren't going to cut it at all. And yeah, I'm still standing here playing with the controller like, okay, it's not working, and yeah, I guess I was hoping it was going to work, but it didn't work. So I'm letting it back down, and I basically more or less said, okay, this isn't going to work today, so we're going to have to leave this, and I'm going to have to try and get some bigger, better batteries. And as you all know, batteries are not cheap. A couple of batteries for this, the cheapest ones I could find, and I shouldn't say fine, the cheapest ones they had at Canadian Tire, I think were like $180 each, and I would need 2 of them. And I just didn't really want to spend, over $400 just to make this lift go up and down and work. I thought, no, there's got to be a better way.
Now I know. Those 2 lawnmower batteries are not powerful enough to lift that truck. Not even close. I think I'm going to need to get 2 batteries like that are in really good shape, because those just don't have enough juice in them, even with the charger on. So, there you go. Imagine that. Now we know. Hey guys, we're at the shop again today, and we're going to try out the lift that I got for, well, I paid $500 for it. It cost me about $500 to get it to this point. So we're going to try and see if we can lift up this, or my wife's, I guess, 2008 Honda CR-V. Let's give it a try. See what happens. Alright guys, I got all the lifting blocks under there. Let's see what happens. See if it lifts it up or not.
Okay, so just keep in mind, this is the second attempt at lifting a vehicle. I don't know what it's going to do, but it actually does lift the CR-V very easily. No problem at all.
She's up. So there you go, guys. She lifted the little CR-V up, no problem, with those 2 big batteries. And I got it on the lock, which seems to be holding fine. I'll keep those jack stands under there just for a little extra security. But yeah, I think that's going to be alright. And it's pretty stable. It's not moving. Alright guys, so we got that lifted up. Got the ball joint fixed. The lower ball joint on that. Was no big deal. Now we're going to let it down. I took the pin out, the locking pin there, which worked great. I just put it up a little bit, pulled the pin out. So now we're going to use this to lower it down. And I'm going to just stand back just a little bit. This is the first time I use this thing, so we'll hit the down button and see if she'll go down. And there we go. That worked excellent. I must say, I am going to enjoy this hoist very, very much. That's it, it's down. Anyway, that is my scissor lift that I bought for $500. I had to build the top part, cost me roughly another $500 for all the steel and stuff. And yeah, so not bad for $1,000 for a good little lift. I think that's gonna serve me well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, guys.
Okay guys, so as you can see here, I've got some ramps built, finally. And we're going to give this Nissan a try now. As you can see, that ramp is sliding ahead. I am going to fix that. I've got some heavy rubber mat. And I think I'm going to fasten that to the end of the ramp where I drive up on. And that way when the tire's up on the rubber mat, I'll have it fastened to the ramp so it cannot be pushed ahead then. It'll just drive right up on the ramp. So I think that's the easiest way to solve the problem of the ramps being pushed ahead. And I don't really want to fasten the ramps to the floor because, like I said before, I want this whole thing to be portable or movable inside my shop. I don't want it to be stationary in the center of the shop floor, because if I pull my tractor in there, they'll be in the way. So anyway, that's my plan for those ramps.
Okay, so that went pretty good. It drove right up, no problem. I'm a little bit off on this side here, as you can see. But once I lift it up, I'll pull those over some. But yeah, that went pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Now we're going to try and pick it up. See how this hoist does with a little heavier vehicle. We'll give her a try. Stay tuned. So guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video on the scissor lift. Yeah, works really good, and you'll definitely be seeing it in future videos, that's for sure. So anyway, stay safe everybody. Till next time.